Hey guys! Today in this video I want to talk about how I've been using my classic size Passion Planner. I've been using it for almost a full month now. I want to talk about all the things I'm loving about it, how I plan in it, why am I still seeing myself definitely going to stay with this right now and not go back to my InkWELL. So let's get into this. And yeah, first let's go through the Passion Planner and everything I'm loving about it. Now, if you want like every little detail about a review about the Passion Planner, you need to go check out my video. I will try to remember to link that below. If not, it's on my channel and it is a full review on the Passion Planner. This is going to be more about how I'm planning in it, but I'll try to touch on stuff in it and about it. This is the classic size, which is a full size 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. They also have a compact size, which is an A5 size, which is basically half this book, cut in half. I have mine right here. So this is a compact size I got in a color just to be able to do videos on and show you guys. And it is half the size of this book. It is an A5 size. So you can see it on top of this book. It is quite a bit smaller. Yes, it is. But I will have up a whole video, if I don't already, comparing these two sizes and the color versus the black very soon. So we're not going to get into that today, the size comparison. I have the classic size Passion Planner. Here's a little hack I do in mine. I like to use little sticky notes, but I like to cut these smaller ones in half because I just have a whole bunch of these smaller sizes. Fits on my wall calendar perfectly in the squares, and I use them for that. So I just cut them in half to have them ready and even into smaller pieces, and I stick them in this front cover. It's just where I can grab them easily, and like another sticky note I can grab here. And that way I just grab them easily when I'll show you how I use them on the weeks. So I've just kind of got them lined up there and ready to go, and I don't have to go cut any sticky notes or find any when I need them. All right, so I have paper clipped my front page to the month that I'm on. Since I have an undated Passion Planner, all my months are in the front. On undated planners, you have your 12 months up front. Now, of course, that's because they don't have a way of knowing, what months have 4 or 5 weeks when you're going to start it, so they cannot intersperse the months with your weeks. On their dated planners, they have your normal flow. You have a month and then the weeks that follow. Okay, so your months are dispersed throughout. I actually love having my months all up front because as I'm planning the big things monthly, they're all here. And since you don't have tabs in this planner, it makes it much easier for me. So I love having all my months up front. That is a big pro for me. I actually love also having the undated, which I didn't think I would because I'm really not an artistic person, but I'm also not a perfectionist, so it doesn't bother me that it's not perfect. I love having a color scheme for every month, and then I stick with that throughout my week. Let me go to my week by my paper clip. Back here, I paper clip my week too. Then I stay with that color scheme through the whole month for my weeks until I switch to the next month, and see, then I have switched to blue for June. And that way, it just, I don't know, when I just flip through, it makes it really easy to know what month I'm on. And I have that color of that month like in my head. So, and I try to do my main big event planning in that color. So then we have August in green. And I love to go with the holidays. In September in purple. October, of course, orange and black. November, what did I go with? I went with the brown and orange. And December, of course, red and green, because I'm just like a traditional gal when it comes to Christmas. So that is how I numbered mine through the end of the year. I only went through the first week in January, but I went back to a cool blue for that. So I like having the monthly color scheme, and I like having all my months up front. I like numbering my own months, actually. And I like it because some calendars put your number in the left-hand side. In fact, Passion Planner does. But I prefer my number in the right-hand side. Different calendars do it different. InkWELL has it in the right also. Sorry. Yeah. Let me check right here. I'm telling you right. Yeah, InkWELL has it in the right. And, each calendar is different. I've just always liked mine in the right. Passion Planner does it in the left. And this way you get to choose. And you get to choose how big your number is. So I also love these sections to keep track of people to see, places to go, not to-do lists. I'm not using that list right now for not to do. Personal projects all down here, and work projects, and break it down, create a mind map of this month's game changer. That has to do with the beginning part in your roadmap. Okay, how you use this planner, it's all laid out. Here's my Passion Planner roadmap. And all these pages I go into extensive review about in my Passion Planner review video. Okay, I will link that below. If I forget, somebody let me know and I will link it if it's not there. So I actually love that roadmap and focusing on your goals and your passions. I didn't know if I would use that because I thought I had a pretty good hold of those type of things in my life. But you know what? I said, I'm doing this for reviews on YouTube. I need to completely use the whole planner, and I wanted to give it a try, and I actually loved doing that. It has focused me. It made me think on really what is most important to me in my life right now at this season of my life. Okay, so in between each month, you have your monthly reflection questions, and this kind of goes with your roadmap and your goals. And so you need to watch my full review video if you don't know about these things in Passion Planner. And I'm about to have to fill out my first month of this. So then in my next video about this, I'll let you know how that went. So then I have my June. And like I said, I love switching color schemes. And we are going to the mountains in June. So I wrote, the mountains are calling and I must go. Like I said, I'm really not an artistic person. But I'm also not a perfectionist, so it works well for me because I'm kind of having fun. Like when I was a kid, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I've always loved bringing in seasonal colors into my calendar planning, and that's something that bothered me about a lot of my planners. Now, that's not the reason why the Passion Planner works better for me. I'm not only buying it because I can write in my own colors. That's just a perk. Okay, so then we have July, August. All their planners are 12-month planners. This is the 12-month classic undated Sunday start. I should talk about that. In the undated, you can pick a Sunday start or a Monday start, but whichever start you pick, it's going to line up your weeks the same way. If you pick Sunday start in your calendar, it's going to be Sunday start monthly, Sunday start weekly. Same with monthly start. Now in their dated, they don't give you a choice. They only give you Sunday start. And that is because most month calendars, in at least all my planners that I've ever used, all start on a Sunday. The only one that I've reviewed that hasn't, Day Designer, starts on a Monday for their monthly spread. On all calendar monthly spreads and all my other planners, they've always started on a Sunday. I knew I could not switch that up because it would completely mess me up. Now, most calendars in your weekly spread start you on a Monday. But I thought it would be easier for me to change Sunday in my weekly than Sunday here. So I went with Sunday start. And I went with it because also the CEO, the founder, Angelina, I might be saying her name wrong, a Passion Planner, said in one of her videos that, and that's why they only sell the dated and Sunday start. Because if you are looking ahead and planning your whole week, if your Sunday is still back here, then you are stuck on Sunday when you need to be looking ahead. And Sunday really is the start of the week on all major calendars. It's here. So if you are flipping your weekly on Sunday, then it lets you look ahead and start your whole new week then. And you know what? That's kind of been a game changer for me because all my other weekly planners, Plum Paper, InkWELL Press, Get to Workbook, sorry, I'm looking back there and trying to think of every other weekly planner I've ever used myself, has started the week on a Monday, but all their monthlies start on a Sunday. So this has been a game changer for me because it's true what she says. I was always stuck with my Sunday back here when I kept needing to flip and plan on Sunday and say, what is this week looking like? Sunday really needs to be my planning and focus day for the week ahead. And so flipping my calendar and being able to look ahead that day, that's kind of been a game changer for me. So I also really liked that change. Now, just on a tangent, the only thing I would like, I wish they made the number boxes a little bit bigger, like whiter, and maybe just go all the way up to the black or the gray there, because I just like my numbers to be bigger. mainly, just for me. That's just something I'm picky about. Let me show you a close-up of that. Sorry, with my tripod here and how big this book is, I'm having a hard time fitting it in for filming. Okay, so those are all things I love. I love that you can print their habit trackers, and I cut them down. Their habit tracker takes up this whole big section at the bottom. I did not bring a big one printed here, but their habit trackers take a whole big section at the bottom here, and on their space of infinite possibility. And I just didn't want to take up all that space, and I didn't have that many habits to keep track of. So I print their habit tracker and I cut it down. Now, the game changer of why I am loving the Passion Planner over, I was planning an InkWELL this year until I got the Passion Planner. So let me show you a page in my InkWELL. Let's go to April. Here's the InkWELL monthly, and I have video reviews on my InkWELL. And I absolutely love their mission board page, and I talk all about that in my reviews. And I love their daily habit tracker, showing the whole month at once. Their plan and focus section. I love their in-between month pages. But here's where it really wasn't working for me. It was just not enough space for me. Even when I tried to divide it, like she has her little dots so you can divide it, and that's why she calls it Flex, into 2 sections, and you have your 3 boxes. I love the 3 boxes. I use that for my go-tos, my big things for the day of anywhere we need to be, any appointments we have, or anyone that's coming to our house. But this is the only space I've got for my weekly lists. And every week I have a lot of lists of things that I need to do or be focusing on or be looking ahead to, but they don't necessarily fit on a certain day that week. And I don't know when they're going to fit in. But this list just wasn't big enough for me. And I was having to keep that list in my Leuchtturm 1917 journal. I was having to keep a weekly list every week, this week. And I was doing my must-dos, my maybes, my YouTube, my kids lists. And I was having to keep a list every week in here. So I was having to look in here for kind of like my daily plans. And then I was having to come here to look at my weekly lists and say, oh, okay, what can I fit in this day? Well, that's just not awesome to have to do that. And I would love it to be on a 1-page spread. So when I found Passion Planner was bigger, completely different from InkWELL, 100%, different type of planner. But when I found that Passion Planner was bigger, because it's an 8.5 by 11, and so you can see the page difference here. Not only is this a horizontal spread and completely different, of course, from a vertical spread, but I have other vertical spreads I've tried this year. Get to Workbook, and I used plum paper vertical spread for like 3 years before this year. Before 2017, I used plum paper vertical in combination with Emily Lade daily. So I used a weekly and a daily in combination before this year. So I'm familiar with vertical, but there just was never enough room for me. But this one being 8.5 by 11 gives me a ton of room, I feel like. I also didn't know if I would actually use the time slots. Lots of people don't. Some people cover it up with washi tape and make a checklist. They do all kinds of things with that. I actually love the time slots. So it's bigger. That's one thing of why the vertical works for me. It also has all this to-do list room at the bottom. It's a huge amount of room in the Classic. And she has it divided up into personal to-do list, work to-do list, top priority, errands, then space of infinite possibility, which is just fun and cool. They have a really motivational quote every week, and then a challenge to go with that quote. Good things that happen that week, which I am using, and this week's focus, which I am using. They have a today's focus every day. What I use that for is kind of like appointments or any big thing we have that day, so it can draw my attention to it. Let me show you. So right here, I might write in well check for my son at 10:30, and I write it at the right time. So I love how I can glance at my day and I can see any timed appointments we have. They stick out to me. And then my day just kind of becomes a running to-do list on here, basically. And it gets really full. I'll show you on the week I'm on. But right here, I was going to show you how his well check goes up here to the daily focus, because that's our big thing for the day. It's an appointment we have to be at. And that just works for me, because my focus for the day is if we have to get somewhere. then it kind of becomes a running to-do list if it's not a timed appointment of just things that we have to get done that day. Now, this is what my week ends up looking. This is the week I'm on right now. We're on Saturday. Right now, this is what my week looks like. Okay, now some people would go crazy with this. They don't like messy. But I like a planner that screams to me, write in me, use me, and there are so many ways you can make this your own. Some people use it with a million beautiful planner stickers and make it beautiful. Like Chelsea Brown Designs on Etsy has amazing passion planner stickers. My sister has gotten some, and I have posted on Instagram about those, and I'm going to do a video with her when she comes this summer about them. But I am just not really a neat planner, and I love this planner because it has no colors, so it screams to me I can choose a color for every month. I can make it my own, and I can mark it up. It like screams to me, write in me, you know, use me, make me yours. That's just what this planner says to me. And I have found my favorite thing to cross out stuff in this planner with is a black map pencil, just a Crayola one. Because I really like stuff to show me. I like by the end of the day to see what's not marked out easily so that I can either move it to another day that week when I think it will get done or move it down here to one of my to-do lists to remember it. So I like to migrate it somewhere, and I like for it to stick out that it did not get done. Okay, so this is what my week looks like. And I have been writing good things that happened that week. I did it last week. You can see as the week goes on, so I don't forget them. And I love to look back over that. It makes me really happy. I haven't done it this week yet, so I haven't kept up with it, and I need to. All right. And I like to I'll tell you this, a personal information, make a different focus each week. And this week it was just to play one game with each of my boys. Spend quality time with whether they wanted to do it together with me or separate. And I have done one of them, and I have not checked it off because I just did it today. And the other one I have not, and my week is ending today, so I'll probably migrate that to next week. And I have given him opportunities, but he wasn't keen on it at the time, but I did get to spend quality time with him going to the nature preserve one day, just he and I. And so, I mean, I kind of find that as quality time, the same thing as playing a game together. He just didn't want to play a game. So, I mean, every focus can be completely different, but that was just my focus this week. So things that I'm kind of planning ahead that I'm not quite sure if they're going to happen, I stick in with my half sticky notes. And sometimes when the day comes, if I know it's happening, I come in and replace it by just writing on it. But sometimes I'm just so busy I don't. And that's where my sticky notes in the beginning come into play. Those little half sticky notes, they're usually this size. And this list for my son that I try to keep up what he needs to be doing with it every weekend, I should migrate it to every week. I love to use sticky notes in here, and there's plenty of room to put them. That's another thing I love about it. So I love that my timed appointments stick out. I love I can have a color scheme every month. I love that my to-do list and my habits are all in that week. This stays laid out on my desk almost all the time, pretty much, unless I'm bringing it to my table to work on. It stays laid out on my desk in the kitchen. And it's ongoing, looked at many times a day. And then every morning, I go to my day, and, well, this usually doesn't happen on the weekend. Here, I'll show you my next week. It's already looking too busy, and I haven't even filled in my to-dos. This is just like the big stuff for next week. This is not my to-dos. That will be filled in as the week goes on. But what I do is then I go to that day, and that morning, I look at it and I make my daily to-do list in order of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That is a whole video called my 1, 2, 3 productivity tip. Right now I'm using my Emily Lay daily. I don't use her time slots simply because I already owned this and I decided to not use it as a calendar planner this year. I kind of switched. At the beginning of the year, I was still using this and my Plum Paper Weekly. And then I found InkWELL at the beginning of this year, and I started using her. And this isn't like me to switch because I've used Emily Lay daily in conjunction with Plum Paper for 3 years in a row, almost now. This would have been my 3rd year. So I started out the year with it. Then I switched to InkWELL, and now I'm in Passion Planner, and I really feel like I'm staying there. I definitely feel I'm staying there. But I already have this Emily Lay daily, and it's beautiful, and I don't want to waste it, so I use it for my daily to-do list. And when it gets too messy, I just use a small Target legal pad. And when this runs out, I will be using a small Target notebook or legal pad because I just cannot spend $60 and even more because of shipping on something for a daily to-do list just because it's pretty, because it doesn't even work as well for me because the lines are divided and I would rather go all the way across. But I'm using it for my daily to-do list right now because I have it. So I'm going to use it up this year. And so I just go 1, 2, 3, my top 3 that I need to get done first, and then I leave a space and I go 1, 2, 3 and I leave a space. And sometimes I don't go any further than that yet, and sometimes I do a third 1, 2, 3, and that is telling me I cannot work on my second set of 1, 2, 3 until my first 3 are done. And my list gets messy, and it gets to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Some days it's insane because there's just a million little tasks that I don't want to forget and things that pop up during the day, and they keep going on my daily list. So that daily list comes out of my planner to make it, and my planner keeps me on my timed appointments. So all that about my 1, 2, 3 productivity daily to-do lists are in a separate video on my channel. I will try to remember to link it below, but if I don't, you can find that on my channel. I'm sorry, I am totally going off on a tangent here. I just want to tell you how I'm planning in my passion planner, and that's how I do it. So all I use is this and a daily to-do list. You do not have to have an Emily Lay fancy planner to do that. I often go to my legal pad, like I said, from Target, a small legal pad, when my page just gets all full for that day, and some days do. I didn't bring my small legal pad up here, but I use that a lot too. I am loving this planner. Just it's everything I need it to be right now. So for this point in my life, it is working perfectly for me. I love all those little things about it that I mentioned to you. She has one page marker, but what I do is I mark my month with a paper clip, my week with a paper clip, and the first page of my notes section in case I want to find my notes really quick to jot down a note. And I find it very easy to find them. Now, of course, mine is open 90% of the time. But when I do shut it and carry it somewhere else in the house or out of the house, like once a week, I can find my sections really easy just by feeling my paper clips at the top. It comes with an accordion pocket in the back, which is really nice. And it comes with a band for when you take it out. And I love how there are no rings. I love this. I don't even know when was the last time I've used a planner without rings. I mean, I tried to use the Emily Lay Weekly bound book, but I talk about that in a video. The weekly format that she uses just didn't work for me. So there hasn't been a time that I've stuck with and used a bound planner for a long time. I love the bound quality. I love that even though it's big, because it's 8.5 by 11, it's not heavy, and it just feels slim and good to carry. This fake leather feels good and durable. I love the Passion Planner company and what they're doing and how much they're already giving back. You can check all that out on their website, even though they're a small company. The CEO has done many videos on YouTube. They have their own YouTube channel, so I would recommend going there and watching them if you want to find more out about Passion Planner. Also, if you end up buying a Passion Planner, please put my email, which will be down in the description, in the referral box at checkout. It's Amandasfavorites@whitleyspace.com, and that's listed in the description, because after so many referrals, I can get a free black undated planner, and I will definitely do a giveaway with free planners that I earn, because I am in love with my Passion Planner. I have already converted at Stream and Freedom, my sister, Molly Elmer. She uses the compact black, and we both started it at the same time because she was looking for a new planner at the time. And my other little sister is even trying it out too. So if this is a planner that you're interested in, watch my full review video on it if you haven't heard enough here. All right, guys, thanks for being patient with me today when I veered off on many tangents. We will see you guys next time. Bye.